Hey, what's up guys, Master Shiny here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be going over my past investment advice. I've been on YouTube in the investing area for CSGO for over 2 years at this point, but I've never really looked back upon some of my past investment advice and really rated it and said how it went for better or for worse, so let's hop on into it. Now the actual investment advice I'm going to be rating is over here on a website called Kivana. They were one of my sponsors back in the middle of 2021. I don't work with them anymore, but they are a trustworthy site, and I say that because all of my analyst ratings are locked into this site. They promised they'd sponsor another one of my videos if I did so. They didn't end up sponsoring a video obviously, but it's still locked in on there, and I figured I'm going to make a video on it. Now this is the overall full ratings. I got 6 of them that we're going to be going through today. The one biggest thing you do need to note is that price target is a cash value. This is not Steam market community value. This is the actual cash value that you're going to be finding on a third-party site. Now the first one we're going to be talking about is the shattered web case. Now I gave it a 3-month price target and a 12-month price target that I found ambitious at the time, and obviously they still are quite ambitious. The shattered web case is currently sitting around 70 to 80 cents currently, and that's not a terribly low price point. Shattered web case is something that I'm always going to keep on buying because I still think that it has a ton of potential down the line, but we've definitely started to see a little bit more of those active duty cases taking priority in the unboxing rates. After that, we've got the glove case, which I predicted would see a pretty big increase, and it definitely did. The glove case is one of those cases that in August of 2021 on the Steam market, it was sitting at around $1.70, and now whenever you head over to whatever third-party website you're going to be using, you can see that that's roughly the cash price right now. This, I would say, is definitely one of my better investment analyses, saying that the glove case was going to go up quite significantly because of the things inside of it and those gloves being the same as the Hydra case, and that's definitely been something that has taken off. Third on the list is the personal investment that has gained me the most money in my entire investing career, and that's the Spectrum 2 case. Spectrum 2 case, around the time I put that investment up, was sitting at around 35 cents on the Steam community market. We fast forward to today, and you can see that it is significantly higher in a cash value. I know for me personally, the Spectrum 2 case has just been my best investment hands down. It's made a ton of money for me, and that's due to a couple big things. The biggest of which, in my opinion, is the fact that you can unbox a knife that's worth $10,000 for a case that was at the time maybe 30 to 35 cents, which is absolutely crazy considering most of the expensive things you have to unbox are coming from something that's a little bit more expensive. After that, fourth on the list, we've got the Operation Hydra case. Now at this time, the Operation Hydra case was currently sitting at around roughly $10 on the Steam community market. When we fast forward to today, it's sitting at around a $10 in cash value, which is a great increase. That's exactly what you want. If you can buy something on the market and 1 year later it's going to be worth that in actual cash value, you're going to be sitting in a great situation. The last two I got on this list are actual sticker capsules, one of which, Cato 19 autograph capsule, I said it was a strong sell because the Cato 19 market had really stalled, and that's correct. The biggest one though is the Sticker Capsule 2. I said this one should definitely be a pickup. Now at this time, the Sticker Capsule 2 was sitting at around a $16 market value, which is very similar to what it's sitting at today. Obviously, not all of my things are going to be correct, and we're going to be talking about that in just a second. Now going back through the list, I think I've made a fairly decent amount of correct predictions, and there's also definitely some that aren't as ideal as you would like them to be. The point of this video is to help you understand that you should not take what I say at face value. If you invested into everything I said on this list, you would have made profit, but you would have made even more profit if you dialed in on the specific things you thought were better investments than worse. If you look at something like the Sticker Capsule 2 and you didn't really see a ton of potential there, so you decided to put that money into the Spectrum 2 case, you would have been making significantly more profit. The one thing I do want to tell you is to not be discouraged by other people not wanting your investment to succeed. Now, I really have a big example for this, and that's back in 2021 as well, in February. February 5th, I released a video called The Next Best CSGO Investment when I talked about the revolver case. At the time, the revolver case was sitting at around 6 cents, and I got a lot of ridicule in the comments for telling people that this was actually an investment. At this time, the revolver case was sitting in the non-prime drop pool for a significant amount of time. One thing I find funny is the comment that listed 4 different cases that all ended up doing worse than the revolver case in terms of ROI, especially since they had 4 times times the opportunity, and they just had to have one succeed, and yet the revolver pulled through because there was not a ton of people investing into it because people were more focused on hating it. Now, I don't make this video to specifically talk about my greatest investments. I think probably the worst investment that I've ever made was talking pretty positively about shattered web stickers. Now, this was very early on into my CSGO investing career. It was actually one of the most popular videos I made at the time. You can see it was uploaded in March of 2020, but that's just to say that I definitely have not made everything correct. I haven't made 100% perfect decisions, and some of the ones that I have been wrong on have just stagnated, which is awesome to see. If your worst investments are just stagnating, you're doing something very right. But even in a time where most of the items increase, there's definitely going to be some that you're invested into that are not going to, which is disappointing, but reality. Now, if we want to talk about the obvious here, we didn't go through everything. I've got 100 and some videos talking about CSGO investing. There's going to be some that I didn't mention today that did better and some that did worse. It's just to be expected. The biggest thing I want to tell you is you should obviously not trust what people say at face value. That's the biggest point of today's video, is I made a ton of investments. Obviously, some of them are going to succeed, some of them are going to end up worse than what I originally invested into, and some of which are probably going to stay roughly even. The biggest reason that the majority of these investments ended up successful is because the market overall expanded significantly since 2020 and 2021 for the majority of items, and that's why most CSGO investors are actually correct in their predictions. The biggest reason is you got to look a little bit deeper, and especially today where we're getting to a position where there's probably not going to be a ton of investments that actually succeed. If you're buying in at current prices, I definitely recommend you make sure you're not taking someone's research at face value. If you feel like Antwerp or Stockholm or whatever is a bad investment, you don't need to invest into it. The biggest thing is making sure you're confident in your decision. I've said this quite a lot, and it's because a lot of people really start to fall into the trap where they look at the profits that someone else has made on a certain investment and then immediately buy in. The one big thing I'm going to leave you with today is don't trust people just because they have a pretty decent track record. I made a video about someone called Thomas a couple months ago, and he had the exact same formula that I'm telling you not to follow today. He had a really great investment opportunity between 2015 and 2016, bought a ton of CSGO skins, and then in 2020 and 2021 he came to the CSGO investing scene on YouTube and tried to manipulate a lot of different people to buy shattered web stickers, saying that this was the exact thing he saw back in 2015 and 2016 with cases. He did this so he could shoot up the price of a ton of different shattered web stickers and ended up making a significant amount of profit off of that just because he had some decent investments in the past and people blindly followed him. But that is really all I have for today, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.